Hello and welcome to in-class English Studies. Today we are looking at the topic nomenclature, adjectival clause or relative clause. Alright, so the essence is to identify or to find out why this particular clause is referred to as adjectival clause and at the same time referred to as a relative clause. That is to say, they are often used interchangeably. So we want to find out the reason for this nomenclature. Remember, this is our part 2 of Adjectival Clause series. Alright, this is powered by Sam's English e-tutorial. We are based in Yenagoa, Nigeria, West Africa. I am your regular preceptor, Samuel Ikechukwu Emochoga. I'd like to urge you to subscribe our YouTube channel, like it, and of course follow us on other social media handles at Sam's English e-tutorial. Thank you once again for joining us. Alright, now at this point, let's quickly take a look at the essence of this meeting. Now, why the term adjectival clause and at the same time a relative clause? We want to expose this. Our students need to know, and of course our teachers have to know too, so as to help our students. Now, first it is important to note that an adjectival clause is a group of words that contain a subject, a clause marker, and of course a finite verb that will always modify a noun or a noun equivalent. That is actually an adjectival clause. Now, remember the essence of this is to know why we also call it adjectival clause and at the same time refer to it as a relative clause. Now, we will do that first of all by looking at these relative pronouns like who, which, whose, whom, and of course that. These are relative pronouns. Now, they are called relative pronouns because when they appear at the middle of a sentence, they will always make reference to the antecedent. In other words, the noun that is before them in a sentence. However, it is important to note that this group of words can also be used as interrogative pronouns. For instance, when I have a construction like this, when I have an example like this as seen on the screen, good. Who is there? Alright? In this case, who can no longer be referred to as a relative pronoun. Please take note, it can no longer be referred to as a relative pronoun. Alright? Now, however, when it appears in the middle of a sentence, such as something like this, if I write something like this, I know the man who lives here. Yeah, take a look at this. Who in this sentence appears in the middle of a sentence. So on this note, we'll say who in this case is a relative pronoun. At the initial position of a sentence, we refer to it as an interrogative pronoun. I hope this is clear. Alright, now let's quickly take a look at other aspects of this lesson. Now let's take a look at a few examples, sentence examples, so as to guide us further. Now you now know what a relative pronoun is when they usually appear at the middle of a sentence. Now take a look at these few examples that I have here on the screen. Okay, now Jane cooked the food which we ate yesterday. Can you see that? The food which we ate yesterday. The entire group of words here, remember a clause is a group of words that contains a clause marker, which is this, a subject, and of course a verb. Right? This is a clause. And the whole of this clause modify the entire word here, which is a noun. Okay, the entire group of words here refer to the noun, the food. I hope this is clear. Now, as a result, we refer to it as adjectival clause because it performs this function of modifying a noun. An adjective modifies a noun, so an adjectival clause modifies a noun. Can you see that? An adjectival clause will always modify a noun. So the entire group of words there, which we ate yesterday, makes reference to the noun, food. Alright, now on the other hand, they are also known as a relative clause because the first word here Okay, take a look at the first word, which. Can you see this? The first word here is a relative pronoun. It's actually a relative pronoun, and because it is a relative pronoun beginning the entire clause structure, as a result we also refer to it as a relative clause. Alright, so because it is a relative pronoun, remember, which is a relative pronoun beginning the entire clause structure, which we ate yesterday. It is the first word in that clause structure, and it is a relative pronoun, so the term a relative clause. I hope this is clear. Alright, now let's quickly take a look at other examples. Take a look at other examples of adjectival clause. Can you see them there on the screen? Alright, so the entire group of words in red font, as you can see there, are adjectival clause. They modify the noun. The entire group of words in red fonts modify the noun in green fonts. Can you see that? Now we also have this, the teacher. They modify the words in green and blue fonts. Can you see that? So the entire group of words in these examples modify the noun in either green font or blue font. Alright, now they are so-called adjectival clauses. They are adjectival clauses as seen on the screen now. Again, it is important to note that we refer to them again as relative clause because they begin with relative pronouns. Okay, take a look at the relative pronouns there. Which, can you see which as a relative pronoun? This is whose. Whose here also as a relative pronoun. This is whom. Whom also as a relative pronoun, and of course who as a relative pronoun. So they begin with relative pronouns. As a result, we refer to them as relative clauses as well. Okay, and then the entire clause structure, as I said earlier, performs adjectival function. Therefore, we also refer to them as adjectival clause. On this note, I hope you've learned something today. Thank you once again for joining us. Until we meet again in the next series. Remember, this is powered by Sam's English Institute. I am your regular preceptor, Samuel Uchechukwu. Kindly subscribe our YouTube channel, follow us on our various social media handles. Thank you once again for joining us. At this point,